Let me ask you something uncomfortable. How many decisions in your life are actually made by fear? Not logic, not strategy. Fear. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of being judged, fear of not being good enough. And the worst part? Most of the time, you don't even realize it's fear. You call it being realistic. You call it waiting for the right time. You call it thinking it through. But underneath all of that, it's fear. Now, here's something important. Fear is not the enemy. Fear is a survival mechanism. Thousands of years ago, fear kept humans alive. It protected us from predators, danger, real threats. But today, you're not being chased by a tiger. You're scared of sending a message, starting a YouTube channel, speaking in a meeting, posting your ideas online. Your brain is using a primitive alarm system for modern social risks, and it cannot tell the difference between embarrassment and death. That's the real problem. Your heart races, your palms sweat, your thoughts get loud, and your brain says, "Don't do this. It's dangerous." But dangerous how? Will you die if people criticize you? No. Will you physically collapse if you fail once? No. But your brain treats it like survival. Here's where it gets deeper. Fear is not about the present moment. It's about prediction. Your brain runs simulations. What if they laugh? What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? It creates worst-case scenarios and then reacts to them as if they're real. You are reacting to imagination. That's powerful. Now think about this. If something truly didn't matter to you, would you be afraid of it? No. You don't fear things you don't care about. You fear the things that threaten your identity. Starting a business is scary because failing would hurt your self-image. Speaking publicly is scary because rejection threatens your ego. Posting content is scary because visibility invites judgment. Fear is attached to meaning. The bigger the potential growth, the louder the fear. Read that again in your mind. The bigger the potential growth, the louder the fear. So what do most people do? They avoid it. They shrink their goals. They delay action. They stay safe. And slowly, their world becomes smaller. Here's the harsh truth. Avoiding fear doesn't make you safer. It makes you weaker. Because every time you avoid something scary, your brain learns, yes, that was dangerous. Good job escaping. You reinforce the fear. But when you move toward fear, something different happens. Your brain recalibrates. You speak once, you survive. You post once, you survive. You fail once, you survive. The fear signal weakens. Confidence is not the absence of fear. Confidence is evidence. Evidence that you can handle discomfort. And that evidence only comes from action. Let's shift perspective. Instead of asking, how do I get rid of fear? Ask, what is this fear trying to protect? Usually, it's protecting your ego, your image, your comfort, not your life. And here's the reframe that changes everything. Fear is a compass. It points towards growth. If something scares you and it aligns with your long-term goals, that's not a stop sign. That's a direction sign. The version of you that you want to become is almost always on the other side of discomfort. So the next time fear shows up, don't try to silence it. Listen to it. Then decide consciously, is this actual danger or just psychological discomfort? If it's discomfort, move anyway. Because every time you act despite fear, you expand your identity. You prove to yourself that you are bigger than your instincts. And slowly, fear stops controlling you. Not because it disappears, but because you stop obeying it blindly. Now, here's the question I want you to sit with. If fear disappeared from your life today, what would you start immediately? That thing. That's the direction. Not because it's safe, but because it matters. And growth only happens where comfort ends.